I'm Deborah Borchardt, and this is your midday market update. All the indices right now, well, we're seeing a little bit of selling, but most of the action is happening over at the NASDAQ, where once again, we're seeing all the small caps continue to sell off as people are not wanting to take on that risk. Joining me now is Ben Willis. So Ben, we really haven't had a lot of economic data out today. We've had this talk about this Apple Beats deal and the advertising firms not getting together, but really not a lot of market moving news, but yet the small cap group just continues to bleed.
I think, again, it goes back to my whole theory of it's a market of stocks and a correction within an otherwise positive market. So you're continuing to see a correction that some thought was over, quite frankly, in the smaller caps. The Russell 2000 is touching near correction territory. You also have the high beta stocks, that we call them, or the high flyers like the Tesla or the Twitter and the like that have their days in the barrel. You may think the selling is over, and you see these continuations of a push back down. So I don't think that's quite over. And again, markets hate uncertainty, and right now no one's really certain which way we're headed, and that leaves everybody kind of backing away, saying, okay, now what? And nobody really has an answer that I talk to.
Well, we certainly got bad news out of Rocket Fuel. Rocket Fuel does online advertising, and they gave a weak forecast going forward, and that company really took it on the chin. And I think that makes people worry about some of these internet names that are so dependent on advertising.
Yes, and that's the whole question now with Alibaba and whether they'll have mobile apps, et cetera, and that's all way down the pipe. But the fact of the matter is, you go back to the story of a market of stocks, and today we had Gap stores, which reported great earnings, but what was most important in their story is what they talked about was going to happen next, their forward guidance, a la the Federal Reserve. Take that same application and look at Mitel, the steel company. 12% increase in their numbers. You would have thought the stock traded higher. Late in their conversation, they said, oh, by the way, things don't look so good in Russia, China, and this likes. The stock traded down. So it's all about the forward guidance in this market.
All right, well, there you go. And forward guidance for us is if we keep staying in this red territory, we're going to end the week on a down note. That's Ben Willis from Princeton Securities, and I'm Deborah Borchardt with The Street.